Hi there, it's Dr. East, and I'm sitting here in a comfy set of PJs ready to give you this month's webinar titled Living Life in Your PJs. What if I told you or suggested that living life in your PJs leads you to happiness? I believe it does. I believe that when we align with our passions and joys, it leads us to happiness, living life in our PJs. A few months back, I did a webinar on weathering the pandemic that did not include telemedicine. Guess what? This webinar will not include telemedicine either. Rather, what I'd like to do is give you 20 strategies, 20 things that we can all do to stay positive during this time, especially amidst the negativity that's out there, the chaos and the confusion. It's hard to stay positive, isn't it? So I'm right there with you. I have a disclaimer for today's webinar, and that is that I created this list for myself. I was out there, think of me like a squirrel. I've been out there looking under every rock and in every corner, looking for hope, inspiration, motivation, things to make me feel better, things to keep me positive. And I came up with a number of items, and I thought these are too good to not share with other people. So I am rolling them up and summarize them in today's webinar, 20 things that we can all do to stay positive. I don't know about you, but I look out in the world and I'm like, I want to do something. I got it. What can I do? What can I do? What can one little person do? Well, I have 20 ideas for you. So if you're ready and you'd like to get into it with me, I'd like to share with you a little download I created. So give me a second while I pull that up, and you can follow along, and we will get started. Are we there? Okay. Number one, eating healthy. You're like, East, oh my gosh, no duh. But it's not just our food, guys. Food is important as well. Eating healthy right now will keep your immunity boosted, and it'll definitely make you feel good. Haven't you ever eaten some foods and they're like really good as you're eating them? Burgers and fries. But then when you're done, you're like, oh my God, why did I do that? Donuts. Why did I do that? Right? It's okay to do it once in a while, but if you did it every day, you're not going to feel so good. So eating healthy, that's physically. But what are you eating mentally and emotionally? What are you consuming? Are you consuming all those arguments on Facebook? Oh, those are juicy, right? They are. They're like, oh my gosh, look at that guy. Look what he said. How do you feel afterwards? Not so good. So a good thing to ask yourself is, how does this make me feel? How does this content, what I'm consuming, make me feel? If you watch a scary movie, how do you feel? You feel scared. If you watch a love story, you feel the emotions of love. So we have to select healthy things to consume, to bring into our soul, physically, mentally, emotionally. For a while, when this whole thing went down in March, I was watching CNN every morning and I was feeling like crap. So one of the things I like to do is take a fast. I do exercise intermittent fasting on nutrition, and it's been very helpful. Also boosts your immunity. But I take a fast from social media. I'll spend a couple days and not even look at social media. Guess what? I feel really good. Then I start to reintroduce this stuff back into my system, and it's like, oh, I feel crappy again. So ask yourself, how does this make me feel? Because guess what? You become what you eat. You are what you eat. You are what you're consuming. Is it positive? Is it good? Does it make you feel good? Or are you bringing your energy down? Which brings me to number two. The second strategy of staying positive is raise your vibration. What things raise your vibration? For me, it's exercise. I exercise almost every day. I like to run. That's one of my favorite things, just moving my body. I get such inspiration when I'm in that state of exercise, but that's just me. What raises your vibration? Another thing that raises my vibration is the Bible, reading verses in the Bible. During the pandemic, being inside gave me an opportunity to pick up A Course in Miracles yet again. If you don't know this book, or maybe you do, it could take lifetimes to get through the book called A Course in Miracles. Beautiful text, spiritual text. And I've been able to look at it again and find some new gems in that. And guess what? By reading different verses, by reading the Course in Miracles. It raises my vibration way more than reading that argument on Instagram or Facebook, or the prophecies that this is the end of the world. Definitely doesn't raise my vibration. But doing things, exercising, only you know what raises your vibration. How do you know? Because you feel better. You got to do it. You got to work on yourself. Don't try to raise other people's vibrations right now. That's not going to lead you to happiness. You got to put the oxygen mask on yourself first. So raise your vibration, and then that's contagious. As your vibration's higher, it's going to go out there and spread to other people. Another thing that raises our vibration is just engaging in creativity, invoking the creativity inside of us. What taps into your creativity? For me, I love going to Michael's, the craft store, and just like finding something to be creative. I get my best ideas that way. So for you, it might be cooking. It could be painting, composing music. Tap into some creativity. It will raise your vibration. That is number 2, the second strategy out of 20 for ways we can stay positive now or forever. Number 3, turn the channel. Turn the channel. It's that simple. Guess what? The remote control is in your hands. So if you're watching a scary movie and you're getting super scared, what do? You turn the channel. Or if you're watching something or there's some music on, you're like, ew, I don't like that. You turn the channel, right? You have to be disciplined and turn the channel. You got to do it. No one's going to do it for you. And if they do, they're going to watch something that you might not want to watch. So the remote control is in your hands. You have to turn the channel. Turn it to something more positive, something that's more uplifting, something that leads you towards happiness and positivity. I just want you to remember, number 3, remember the remote. There are an infinite number of channels out there, guys. There's so many things so many rabbit holes. Well, pick something that uplifts you versus picking that channel that makes you feel yucky. Yucky. That's number 3. Number 4, give yourself permission. You got to write yourself a permission slip. What does this mean? I shared with you that going to Michael's taps into my creativity. I love it. I can walk around Michael's. In fact, today I have it on my to-do list. I'm going to go to Michael's. I'm just going to walk around, look around the store. I get such great ideas. I feel good. It feels good. And I think of all these things that I can make and DIY. But do you think somebody's going to give me permission? Do you think my husband's going to go, East, I give you permission to go to Michael's today? No, no one. If you're going to wait for people to give you permission to go do that exercise, do that uplifting activity that raises your vibration, you're going to be waiting a long time. You got to give yourself permission. You got to give yourself permission to be exactly where you are. You got to say, this is where I'm at today. I'm not feeling so good. Okay. I'm going to sit like this for a little bit. Then I'm going to pull my big girl panties up and I'm going to go to Michael's and inspire myself. So you got to write your own permission slip. Don't wait for somebody else to give you permission, especially moms. I'm a mom. We put everybody else first, right? Moms, wives, girlfriends, sisters, brothers, daughters, sons. We put everybody first. Give yourself permission. Write yourself a permission slip. That's number 4. Number 5, don't compare. Don't do it. Don't let yourself. It's easy, right? Social media. Oh my God, their life is so much better. Oh my gosh, why am I suffering and they're not? Or maybe you're like, I'm living my best life and they're not. I feel so guilty. I'm happy they're not. Stop comparing yourself, guys. Don't. It's an inside job. Everybody is dealt a hand of cards. And as you're going around playing the game of life, sometimes you're winning, sometimes you're losing. That's just how it goes. Maybe in this season of your life, you're doing really well, somebody else isn't. You can be there for them, hold compassion for them. But comparing ourselves to others leads in the opposite direction of happiness. It's been clinically proven that comparison, especially on social media platforms, leads to depression. A 30% increase in depression when you engage in, I forget how many hours it is, but it's so many hours a day on social media. I'm pretty sure a lot of us are on the news or social media trying to figure out what's going on out there. And as we're there, we're comparing ourselves. Oh my gosh, she's got a better body. She's got a better husband. She's got a better life. Her kids are more behaved. Like, don't compare yourself. That is a rabbit hole of negativity and a trap and not good. So you gotta exercise and tell yourself, no, I'm gonna turn the channel. I'm gonna stop comparing myself. I'm gonna look at myself. I'm gonna work on myself. I'm gonna recognize that everybody even as perfect as everything seems, nobody's life is perfect, guys. We are on earth. If you're on earth, you're here to learn lessons. This is a big school for learning lessons, right? And how do we learn lessons? If life was super easy, it'd be like, it's too easy. We learn lessons through contrast. We learn what we want by being presented things we don't want or don't like. So everybody goes through things at maybe different times. Maybe they're not sharing with you. The idea here is don't compare. And an added suggestion to this step, which is number 5 of my 20 strategies for staying positive, is don't care what other people think. This is a big one for me. I have spent my whole life wondering, as one of the things like, oh, if I start doing intuition with my acupuncture treatments, people are going to think I'm kooky. But I enjoy that. I had to give myself permission to just be me, Simba, right? Like, you be you. When you are yourself, your true self, and you don't care, you stop letting yourself care what other people think, you give other people permission to be their genuine selves. You also attract more people that are like you. How can more people that are like you find you if you're not being who you are? They don't know that you are that. I know, it's like, right? So don't compare yourself. Move towards a space of not caring. I'm not saying that we become mean individuals, like, I don't care what you think. No, it's not about that, because there's a step called be kind. There's a suggestion. It's more about not letting what other people think about us weigh us down, stop us from being who we are. It's a comparison trap that doesn't lead to happiness at all, leads to discouragement. So don't compare, and work towards not really caring what people think about you. Be you, be you. You're beautiful, you're perfect, just how you are. Number 6, simplify. Oh, this has been a good one. I remember before COVID and pandemic, whenever I'd go on vacation, it would take me about 3 days before I finally would relax, right? Because I'm a hustler, baby. I'm like out there, like, I got to do this, I got to do that. I'm always juggling like 20 things. And this was no exception going into this current pandemic. I was hustling, I was moving at 100 miles an hour, and then lockdown. And now I'm in the house and I'm like, all this frenetic energy. I still got to do this, do this. I finally have settled into simplicity. Oh my gosh, so much bliss, so much happiness in just simplifying my life. Not obliging myself to a million social things, just picking a select few that make me feel good and engaging in those. Not booking my calendar every minute on the hour, every hour on the hour to be super, super busy. I've simplified. I've taken less appointments. I've done less social things. I have more free time to look at myself and do some of the other steps we're going to talk about, some of the other strategies. Simplification, don't underestimate it. There's a great quote from Robin Sharma. He wrote the book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Great book if you're looking for a book. It's a fun book. Never overlook the power of simplicity. Try it. It feels really good. Just simplify your life right now. It is a road to happiness. It's one of those little breadcrumbs that lead you to happiness. Number 7, choose love. Hang yourself on love in everything you do, every thought, every action, all the words you say to yourself and to others. Ask yourself, does this bring me closer to love or farther away from it? This thing I'm about to do, will it bring me closer to love and the energy of love, or is it in another direction? This word I'm about to say, these words I'm about to say, these words I'm about to type, do they bring me closer to the energy of love or farther away from it? So choose love in your actions, your thoughts, your words, the thoughts with yourself. Is this easy? Hell no, it's not, right? We're humans. We're like, I'm so angry, that person wronged me, they don't deserve this. Go a little bit closer towards love. Don't engage. That's an action of love, just not engaging instead of engaging, which is opposite of that. So choosing love through even the thoughts that you have, like that's where you turn the channel. Like, these are really negative thoughts. Oh my gosh, I'm really scared. What about that? What about that? You know what? I'm going to turn the channel and I'm going to think about positive things. I really love that memory of my friends and I, or my family and I, or I really love that this person did that for me, or I love my animals, my children. I look at pictures of happy memories and it brings me back to love. That's how I can turn the channel. That's how I can choose. So choose love. A good question for you is, again, does this action, this thought, these words bring me closer to love? The book, A Course in Miracles, tells us all you really need, all we need as a collective on this planet is to have 51% of us choosing love over fear and darkness. So I think about that too, because we're all human. It's not easy. We're perfectly not perfect. So if you can just aim for that 51%, you can do it. Choose love in everything you do. That's number 7, the 7th strategy. It's number 8. Number 8, bring light to the darkness. So I have a picture of a refrigerator. If you have mold on your refrigerator, wouldn't you like to know? Let's pull that refrigerator out, look at the mold, and clean up the mold before it gets even worse under there, deteriorates and rots your floorboards, and now your refrigerator falls down into your floor. So we all have dark, ugly sides. We all have warts. We all have hurts. And those are like that mold on the refrigerator. This suggestion, this strategy is to bring awareness to those aspects of yourself and accept those aspects of yourself. That's the only way you can heal them. First, the only way to heal, to clean up that mold on your fridge is to expose it, bring light to the darkness. Anything that you're keeping in the darkness, bring it out, expose it, look at it, say, well, yep, that's me. I have a tendency towards procrastination, or I have a tendency towards judgment, or I have a tendency towards being snarky, whatever it is. That's okay. It serves you. Somehow it serves you. It's protected you. It served you somehow. So love it, accept it. Is this easy? No, none of this stuff is easy. Looking at our ugly sides is not easy. Is it a breadcrumb? Will it lead you to happiness? Definitely will. So bring light to the darkness. Just expose what's there, look at it. And if you can't accept it fully, are you open to accepting it just a little bit, being okay with it, just being aware of it, that it's there? Very powerful step, very powerful. So bring light to the darkness. That's number 8. Number 9, as you're bringing light to the darkness, as you're exposing some of these things about yourself, don't look at them negatively. Look at it as an opportunity for growth. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. I see this huge opportunity that I recognize that the reason why I'm so angry right now is because I have an unhealed wound. This is an opportunity for me to finally heal it up. I'm so glad I saw a little bit of mold under my fridge, because it made me pull the fridge out and go like, holy cow, my entire refrigerator has mold underneath, right? Everything in life is an opportunity. We're on an earth school. We're in the earth school. Everything is an opportunity. It's up to us to see it that way. I love the saying, it's not easy, but I love this saying, don't wish for things to be easier. Wish for you to be stronger. Look at everything as an opportunity for you to become stronger. This is a great opportunity for you to finally heal something in your life. There's a thought, and I see this pattern, that until we really learn a lesson, it just keeps coming back to us with different facades, with different people, with different situations, but at the core, it's the same lesson. So if you have that happening, which all of us do, I believe, then it's an opportunity for you to finally learn that lesson, for you to finally okay, I'm going to finally do this and complete it and bring some completion, and then move on to the next lesson, because life is lessons. There's going to be another one, and that'll be yet another opportunity for you to grow in a different direction and to better yourself even more. So this step, which is number 9, see opportunity in everything. It's up to you to reframe it in your mind, and instead of saying, oh my gosh, nothing's working for me. Actually, everything, the universe is working for you, not against you. See opportunity. While you're seeing opportunity, be grateful for it. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for this lockdown, because it allowed me to recognize that I really love treating, or it helped me recognize I really don't like treating, right? This time of going inside, figuratively and literally with lockdowns, has allowed many of us to kind of say, do I really like what I was doing before? So many people are like, I just want things to go back the way they were. Well, that's not going to happen. Do we really want it to happen? There were so many things that could be better in our lives, individually, collectively, and on the planet, that this is a huge opportunity for us to move closer in a direction that is closer and aligned more with love and light and healing the planet versus taking and ruining the planet. Opportunity, being grateful for all the opportunities. Gratitude is powerful, super, super powerful. There's a text called The Law of One. It's a spiritual text as well. And it says that if you want to protect yourself from all the negative energies that are out there, many of us, especially empaths, if you're watching this, if you're in private practice, most likely you're an empath, meaning you feel other people's, you take on their energy. So how do we protect ourselves so that we don't take on all this negative energy that's out there? Well, gratitude is a huge tool for doing that. The more grateful that you are, the more you vibrate this protective barrier around you so things can't penetrate it. Also, as you're stepping into and dropping into a state of gratitude, you raise your vibration almost like a beacon, goes out to the universe, and it attracts more of those things to you. So those things that you're grateful for, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for this. The warm, happy feeling I have when I hug my children. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful that I had time with my mom and we had such a great time before she passed away. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for that. It attracts more of those experiences to your life. Gratitude is powerful. Gratitude is in all the spiritual texts. It also protects your energy. So number 10 of our 20 strategies for staying positive is gratitude. Engage in it every day, and I promise you, it will lead you to happiness. Now we're on the second half. Number 11, strength conditioning. East, you're telling me I have to go to the gym? I don't like lifting weights. Nope, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm suggesting is that many of these things, and I have a few more, are not easy for us to do. Yes, they'll lead us to happiness. Yes, we probably already know it, but they're hard. It's hard to be disciplined. It's hard to keep doing them because we're human. But if we do a little bit every day, after a while it becomes easier. Don't wish for life to be easier. Wish for you to be stronger. How do you get stronger? By practicing, by exercising those muscles that move you more towards love, that make healthier choices for yourself, by simplifying your life and saying no to those things that don't excite you. You got to do it every day. You got to work a little bit on strengthening yourself. So strength conditioning, just something every day to move you in a direction that leads you more towards happiness and love and that energy versus the negativity. All we need is that 51%. So strength conditioning. Number 12, as you're out there, strength conditioning, stretch yourself, grow, find ways to grow, make new facets in the beautiful gemstone that you are. If you aren't growing, you are dying. I'm sorry. Look at nature. That's how it is. You're growing or you're dying. So growth is crucial. Think back in your life to areas where you accomplished something. You really like stretched yourself. You went out of your comfort zone and you achieved something. Felt pretty good, didn't you? Right? Rock climbing, you get to the top. It sucks. You're going, you're shaking, you're crying. You get to the top, you're like, oh, I did it. And there's this sense of elation because you grew, you stretched yourself. So find a way to grow yourself now or anytime. Just because we're in a pandemic doesn't mean you can't grow yourself, doesn't mean you can't take this opportunity to take classes, explore different things that you've been wanting to explore, check some things off your bucket list. Many of my mentors have always shared, East, do something every year that scares the living heck out of you. They use other words, but basically, because when you do that, you stretch yourself. You become more dynamic, you become stronger, you get a greater awareness of the world. So if you're not growing, you're dying. And let's just hypothetically say, you know, many people say, East, this is the end of the world. This is the apocalypse. We're going down. If you read the Bible, it says that this is the end of the world. We've had all the blood moons, and 2020 is really 2012, the end of the Mayan calendar. And by December of 2020, this planet is gone. We're going to have an asteroid. It's going to hit. It's going to be decimated. Okay. If that's true, I better get on my bucket list. I better do all those things I've been putting off now, right? I better do them now. If you're not going to do those things now, when are you going to do them? When are you going to do them? Do them now. Pick one thing. Stretch yourself. Grow. All right. Number 13, add more light. This is different from exposing the mold on your refrigerator. In Reiki, the healing practice of Reiki, you're not removing demons. You're not removing anything. All you're doing when you're practicing Reiki is you are adding more light. You're directing more love, healing, light energy in a direction. You're saying, universe, God, loving light, please direct that love, light energy here. Put more of it here. A cancer cell, even a cancer cell has a speck of light. A cancer cell is very dark, but there's a speck of light in there. So what we do is we just add more light to that cell, and that doesn't have enough room for all that darkness. We're not removing darkness. We're merely adding light. And that is the suggestion here with this strategy. Add more light into a situation, into the world. There's a lot of things going on, quite frankly, that are so big that it's too big for any one of us. So big for any one of us. But if each of us added light, there wouldn't be room for as much darkness. So adding more light, I think, is a great crucial step here and a strategy. Also, stop trying to fix other people. That is almost like trying to remove darkness. Oh my gosh, that person, they didn't wear their mask. I'm going to berate them. And that's trying to remove what you consider darkness. How about if you just add more light? I promise, if you add more light, we can't fix the corruption all by ourselves. We can add more light, and there's not room for so much corruption. Consider that. Adding more light is number 13 of the 20 strategies that I have found that helps keep us positive. It also gives us something that we can do. What can I do, East? What can I do? I want to do something. I want to do something right now. Add more light. That's what you can do. Don't try to remove any darkness. Don't try to change anybody. Merely just add more light to a situation. When you walk in, be happy. You're adding light to that circumstance, to that situation. Add more light to your brain as well, in your mind, right? Because I'm thinking it's occurring to me a lot of times in our mind, it's pretty dark and we're like, oh, just keep adding more light into your thoughts and there's no room for that darkness. This is a big one and it's really difficult. Number 14, forgiveness. The Course in Miracles is basically a huge, thick textbook on forgiveness. Forgiveness is the way to peace. It's in the Bible. It's in the Course in Miracles. Many spiritual teachers tell you you're only hurting yourself by having any animosity towards somebody. Is it easy? Oh, heck no. Heck no. Forgiveness is really hard. It's one of the hardest things, but it absolutely leads to peace, bliss, and happiness. Even if you can just move an inch in the direction of forgiving somebody. Maybe you're like, East, there is no way I'm going to forgive this person or this situation or this thing, or I can't forgive them. They don't deserve it. Okay, hey, I got it. I got it. Are you open to just moving an inch, just a little closer towards forgiving them? That's it. That's all I asked for today. Okay. Then the next day, how about an inch more? You just inch your way there. Forgiveness is huge. It's hard. It could be back to that strength conditioning. The more we practice it, the easier it gets. And this includes forgiving ourselves. I think we're so hard on ourselves. I know I'm really hard on myself. I know that I have to practice forgiveness on myself for making certain decisions in my life. But you know what? We all did the best we could given the information we had at the time. So as you're forgiving everybody else, forgive yourself as well. even if it's just an inch. I am a grief recovery method specialist. And in that program, it's a 7-week program for grief recovery. Forgiveness is the key. Forgiveness is the key to bring you through that darkness of grief. And grief hurts. When we can learn how to forgive ourselves and others in the situation, it helped bring us to a place of acceptance and more peace of mind and happiness. So I would say this is one of the important keys to happiness is forgiveness. Practice it. Forgive yourself, forgive others. And what are we moving towards? Unconditional love. Unconditional love. Just imagine if we all had unconditional love for each other. What would that feel like? That would feel amazing. We really feel comfortable and safe being ourselves because we know that people unconditionally love us. Like, oh, I'm having a bad day. That's okay. I love you anyway. Oh, you were a jerk. You yelled at me. I got it. I forgive you, right? Unconditional love. I'd love for us all to move closer to that. But forgiveness is what we can do as one of the steps towards happiness or staying positive right now. Forgiveness. That's number 14. 5 more. 15. Go inside. Go inside. Ask yourself. Instead of looking for all the answers out there, ask yourself. Go inside. Close your eyes. There is so much information out there. Guess what? And it's all consenting. It's like half the room tells you, yes, you have to wear a mask. And here's all this research. And then the other half of the room is like, no, you don't have to wear a mask. And here's all this research. And you're just left there going like, ah. Now, many of us have gone inside and said, nope, this is where I stand on that debate. But this is just one debate of many. There's going to be debates for the rest of your life because this is an earth school. We're learning things, right? So there's always going to be confusion. There's always going to be conflicting information out there. And everyone's going to want to tell you what they think you should do. They're going to should all over you. Thank you. Thank you. Gather your information, go inside and ask yourself what the truth is for you, because that's where the truth is. As I've been out there looking for all these things to stay positive, what I've found is the truth is inside. Meditation, prayer is powerful. Dear God, this situation that I'm facing is too big for me. I need you to come in and help. I'm giving it to you, right? Give it to God. I'm asking you to bring me people, bring me ideas, inspiration on how I can get stronger to weather this. So go inside, ask yourself, the answers are there. Stop looking for other people to give you those answers, because that's not going to lead you to happiness. It's going to make you feel like, oh, that's not really my truth. It's not you. Go inside. Number 16, I love this one. Channel your superhero. Who or whom do you totally admire? Maybe it's a mythical creature. Maybe it's literally a superhero. Maybe it's Jesus. What would Jesus do? Maybe it's Buddha. For me, one of my superheroes is Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion, forgiveness, mercy. Kuan Yin reached enlightenment, kind of like Buddha, and gained access to heaven, was able to leave this earth school and all this chaos. And as she was about to go across and enter heaven and nirvana for the rest of eternity, she heard cries. She heard us. She heard us going like, it's painful down here on earth. And she said, you know what? I want to go back. I want to help others. She's a superhero. She's comes back. So what we can do is, who's your superhero? Close your eyes, tap into them, ask them to channel through you. What would they do in this situation or at this moment? And channel them. Ask them to work through you. Channel your superhero. Love that one. Number 17, look for the signs. You went inward and you said, God, please bring me some signs. What should I do? What should I do? The signs are there, guys. So I want you to look for the signs. You are loved. You are supported. There are endless opportunities for you. You are healthy. The signs are there. You got to look for the right signs. Instead of looking how the world isn't working for you, look for the signs that the world is working for you. Instead of looking how you're not loved. Oh my gosh, that person didn't friend me back. That person doesn't love me. That's not going to align you with happiness. Look for all the ways you are loved. right? Don Miguel Ruiz says, don't take anything personal. One of the 4 agreements, right? So instead of, all the signs are there. You can sit there and focus on all the signs of how, you don't have a job, no. Look for the right signs. Look for the positive signs. They're there. I've worked with a lot of people on finding and manifesting true love in their lives. I want my twin flame. I want my true love. Okay. God, the universe, your angels, your higher self, they're all trying to bring it to you, but you're blocking it. We block these things. Abundance, love, opportunities, we block it by saying, no, no, no. It's trying to get to us. So with the love, a lot of times I'll tell people, I want you to go out in the world and start looking for the signs that the universe is trying to bring you what you want. And I'll get emails of people saying, oh my gosh, I was on a walk and I saw a heart-shaped rock. Look at this. I sent you the picture and I have it here in my slide. Yep, that's a sign. I ask for signs all the time. I'll ask the universe, if you really want me to do this, I need a sign. I need you to give me a sign. So you can even ask like for a specific sign. I did this once. I said, God, if you want me to do this, I need a sign. And I want that sign to be a white dove. I was specific. So then I went out into the world and I was looking for my white dove. Where's my white dove? Where's my white dove? No white dove. So one morning, about 3 days later, I'm at the gym at 5:30 in the morning. I'm at the gym. This is before COVID. I'm at a gym. 5:30 in the morning, no one's there. And a girl walks into the locker room where I'm at, and it's 5:30 in the morning. There's 300 lockers. She picks the locker right next to mine. I'm like, what is going on? She opens up her gym bag and she starts pulling her stuff out for the day. What does she pull out of her gym bag? A quart-sized bottle of Dove moisturizing cream soap. I'm not kidding you. I can't make this stuff up. I looked at it and I just start laughing, and she thinks I'm crazy, but I'm like, there's my sign. So the signs come to you, help comes to you. It might not be exactly like I was thinking a white dove was going to fly by me. I'm going, there's my sign. No, there could be some humor in the universe. The signs are there. You just have to look for them. Look for them. The signs are there. I promise you, you are loved. There is an abundance for you. You are healthy. Look for the signs. Look for the right signs. Number 18, this is a simple one. Sometimes easy, sometimes not. Be kind. Everybody is going through something. I promise you, everybody is going through something. And just having compassion for them and empathy and just being kind, even especially when you don't want to be kind, moves you a little bit closer, that inch towards forgiveness, that inch towards hanging yourself on love rather than fear or anger or negativity. You reap what you sow, my friends. So if you want happiness, you got to give happiness, even to people that don't deserve it. It's easy to love the people that love you. The real challenge is loving people that don't love you. The real challenge is loving people that wronged you. Be kind. You don't have to love them and do all these great things for people, but you can be kind. Maybe even just being silent is a way of being kind. Stopping yourself from saying or doing something that's hurtful. So be kind. No one's problem is bigger or smaller than anyone else's. And you're like, that is a tough concept. It comes from the Course in Miracles, that to look at problems as problems on this life school. They're opportunities for growth. It provides contrast so that we know what we do like, what does feel good and what doesn't. Be kind. You really don't know where people are coming from. That person that cut you off on the freeway, they might have just gotten the phone call that their kid has a fever and is convulsing at school. You have no idea what's going on. That old person that is driving slow and really irritating you, that could be your grandma, your grandfather that is really lost or having an episode of dementia and doesn't know where they are. So be kind, guys. Be kind. It'll lead you to happiness for sure. While you're being kind, be kind to yourself. And one of, I think, another powerful strategy of finding your happiness next to forgiveness is following your bliss. The words, the term follow your bliss comes from Joseph Campbell and the hero's journey. That's another context that is very uplifting. We're all in the hero's journey. In the hero's journey, you're born, you go out in the world, and these dragons try to bring you down, and you slay the dragons, and you become something in that challenge, and you overcome that adversity, and you are given all these gifts from that. And you bring those gifts and you come back home with those gifts. Think about when you go on vacation and you go to a place and you're like, oh my gosh, this place is great. I want to bring a little piece of this back for all my friends. And you bring home souvenirs. So when we're out in the world and we're having these challenges and we overcome them, we're given gifts, and we can bring those gifts back to others by helping them overcome their adversity. So follow your bliss comes from the hero's journey. And what it encourages you to do is to engage, to follow those things. Like, East, I want to be happy, but I don't even know what makes me happy. Well, what things make you feel like a state of bliss? I have a picture here of me surfing. I can look at this picture and I can tap back into that feeling of bliss on that evening in Southern California in the 75-degree ocean water, catching waves left and right. It wasn't that crowded. I was overwhelmed with bliss. What I believe is when you follow your bliss, they're like little bliss breadcrumbs. East, I want happiness. I want to be happy. Okay. Do something that puts you in a blissful state, something that you really enjoy. And when you're there, you're going to be inspired for the next stepping stone or the next breadcrumb that brings you bliss. If you follow that breadcrumb of bliss, it will lead you to your happiest life. You got to follow your bliss. You got to give yourself that permission slip to do it. Right? So if you're like, I don't even know what I want to do, start doing things you really enjoy, right? Abraham Hicks is all about the law of attraction and tapping into like the tapped in, tuned in, turned on. It's doing those things that raise your vibration, put you in the vortex. And those things are things that feel yummy and good to you. That's following your bliss. Follow your bliss. It's, I have a big star on it. Another way to find out what is your bliss is ask yourself, if it's not a hell's effing yeah, it's a no. So if somebody comes to you and they're like, hey, East, do you want to go to the tire store with me? No, I don't. Don't do it. You might say to yourself, well, maybe I should. Don't do it. Don't do it. That your bliss is not at a should. Your bliss is not at a maybe. Your bliss is at a reaction inside your body that's like, hell yeah, I want to do that. Oh my gosh, I want to do that. If it's like a maybe, or you start to feel obligated, there's no happiness there. There's just going to be resentment because you're going to be like, God, I always do what everybody else wants to do. It doesn't really bring me happiness. So follow your bliss. That's where true happiness is. How do you find out where your bliss is? Inside, your body will either be a hell's effing yeah, or it'll be a no. Anything that's not a hell's yeah probably doesn't have bliss behind it. All right. So how does it feel? Ready for your last one? This one's super easy. Number 20 of the 20 strategies for staying positive. This one's easy. It's free. You all have it. Smile. Smile more. Even looking at smiles is contagious. It's so funny. I was putting together the slide deck for this webinar, and I was pulling down different images of smiles, and I started giggling inside. Try it. It is awesome. It was so funny. Smile more. There is a connection with our body. When we smile, it triggers the release of happy chemicals in our bodies. So we're actually creating a happier chemical balance by smiling. Somebody sees us, it's contagious, they start smiling. It's a win-win. It's an easy strategy for moving yourself in a direction of positivity and happiness. Guess what else? It makes you more attractive. It really does. A smile is beautiful. And so that's the easiest and the final strategy I have for you today on staying positive anytime, and especially during this pandemic, this confused situation in life and where you might be right now. Those are the 20 strategies. I want to thank you. I want to thank you, genuinely thank you for taking the time to listen to me. Like I said, I made this list for myself. I thought this is too good to keep to myself. I want to share it with you. There's many ways that we can stay connected, and I would love to hear from you. How was this webinar? Shoot me an email. I am in the process of developing my future webinars for the next 12 months. So brainstorming on those. What would you like me to do a webinar on? Shoot me an email of that. What would you like me to discuss? What would you like me to explore with you. Shoot me an email on that. There's so many ways we can stay engaged. You can email me. I love hearing from you. I offer one-on-one strategy sessions that are powerful. In just one session, we could really just get you that one idea that turns everything around for you. I have a 4-week success coaching program that I do with people that I support you the whole time. That's powerful as well. Life-changing can be to finally get you on the right trajectory towards happiness and feeling fulfilled in everything you're doing. I have a number of CEUs. I'm currently working on a brand new CEU track on advanced nutrition, biohacking, supplementation. It's a good one. Stay tuned for that one. Regardless, please shoot me an email. Tell me how this was for you, how you doing. Stay in touch with me. I sincerely, genuinely wish you happiness, success, prosperity, love, and overall well-being. Bye for now.